Hello. Today we are going to work with inner class in Python. A class defined in another class is known as inner class or nested class. If an object is created using child class means inner class, then the object can also be used by parent class or root class. So what does exactly this means? Right here we are going to work with two classes. As you work with if and else and nested if, the same concept will work over here. Exactly what you're going to do, that is we are going to define a class in between a class. So we'll go to the next slide. So this is our next slide. Here we have class student. In class student I have init function and show function, and in that I have defined one more class, that is a laptop. In that also I have init and show function. So here we are working with a student class, and in student class we have two functions, and the second one is laptop. In that we have two functions. So here we are defining student laptop class in student class. Then this is the example. This is the normal programming what we have done, that a class with student has been created, a name is taken, roll number is taken, it has been initialized, that is def int self dot name is equal to name, self dot roll number is equal to roll number, def show self, and then we are taking two objects and inputs and we are displaying the same. Okay, in the next this we are going to create a class inside a class. So here already we have taken a function, that is self dot name self dot roll number. Here we are going to define the class, that is self dot lap. You should give a variable name is equal to self dot laptop. Function class name what you are going to use. Then here I am giving class laptop. In that also I have two functions, that is defined init and show function. Whenever self dot lap is called or it is used, it will go to the self dot laptop, that is this class, and from there it will be accessed. Okay, here now assume that I want to print that self dot band, self dot cpu and self dot ram. Okay, so this is about your printing part. When you work on this function you'll get the result. Okay. Okay, now in the previous example we are just learned about inner classes, so we'll practically work on this. As I told, I have a class student. In that I have init function. In that I have pass name and roll number. Then self dot name self no roll number is taken, self, and the same is printed. This is the program what we have run. Just I'll go to this run module. Yeah, this is what we are done. So now what I am going to do, I am going to define a class into class. The first thing I'll do is class. I'll give the class name, that is laptop. Okay, now in that what I want to work with initialization, so I will use a function, that is init. Then in def function I will call it as self. Okay. So here what all is required in the laptop, one is a band, second one is CPU, and third one is a RAM. So I will set as self dot rand is equal to, I'll give it directly, that is HP. And next I will say self dot CPU is equal to we'll give it as I5 done. Then I will say self dot RAM is equal to 8. Initialization is over. Then I'll come out of this function. I will use one more function, that is def show. Now there is two show function. One is in the main function class and the second one is in the sub class. So what I am going to work here, also I'll say it as self done. Then in this I want to print. This is the first part I'm going to print, that is self dot print print comma self dot CPU, then self dot RAM. Then I'll close this. Now you have defined the class, you have defined the functions into that, But how to use that? So I'll go to this. First you're going to call the function over here, self dot lab, any variable name, and on what you're working. I'm working with class, so we give it as self dot laptop. There's a difference. When you're going working with the functions, there should be two brackets, and when you're working with variable, it can be just the variable name. Then once this is done, now here, after this I want to call a function self. In that I am printing name and roll number, but I want to print the laptop also, so I will set as self dot lap, and the function for that is show. Right? So now we'll take the output. What will be the output? One module. Yeah, here as you have seen, the first function will tell you about the name and the roll number, and the second function will call this show function. Okay, this function will be called. The same way we use two functions objects, that is s1.show and second one is s2.show. So we got the result in it out. Inheritance. So what is inheritance in Python? Inheritance is nothing but the capability of one class deriving or inheriting the properties of another class. The benefits of inheritance are it represents real world relationship well. It provides reusability of a code. We don't have to write the same code again and again. It allows it allows us to add more features to a class without modifying. It is a transitive in nature, which means if class B inherits from another class A, then the subclasses B should automatically inherit the property of class A. So assume here. So what is inheritance? There are the first level of inheritance is single level inheritance. So here we have two classes, that is class A and class B. So what class A and class B? Class A is having feature 1 and feature 2. Class B is having feature 3 as well as feature 4. So here this is an example. Here what you are going to do? Here class A def future self 1, this is the future 1, def future 2 self, this is the feature 2. So class A is having two features, that is 1 and 2. Here I am defining one more class, that is class B. At present I am not going to inherit anything, so I will just give class B. Then I will say def future 3, this is future 3, def future 2, this is future 4. Yeah, I'll just copy this. Done. So I'll go to file. So instead of this, I'll just give class B. This is not feature 2, this is feature 4. Okay, this is feature 4. So we'll just click on run model. Okay. Save. Yeah, the issue is with this. Yeah. Now here, what is the issue? Now here I have a class A that is having two features, that is future 1 and future 2. I have class B which is having future 3 and future 4. So we have created one object A1 into the bracket. A object is created. A1 features are displayed here, feature 1, feature 2. B1 we are taking and we are calling future 1. But future 1 is the property of which? It is the property of class A. So I can't access it with class B, right? So to use that, just go to this and inherit A. Just inherit. Yeah. Then I go to this run module, click on this. Yeah, I'm getting the option error. No, I'm not getting the error. So here it tells me that whenever I inherit this, I have the feature of 3 and 4. In class B, I have the feature 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. We just have one more option, that is I will make it as A1 future 3. Whether it will work, just have a check on one model. Okay. No, because just spelling. So, future 3 is the property of class B. Here we are inheriting class A to B, not B to A. So future 1 will be not, future 3 will not be inherited. So A will be having future 1 and future 2. B will have future 1, future 2, future 3 and future 4. So for this we call it as single level inheritance. So here this is example class A, superclass and parent class, future 1, future 2. Class B is subclass or child class which is having future 1, future 2, future 3 and future 4. Right. So the example on this is your father and your grandfather. Your grandfather property comes to your father, right? Your father's property doesn't go to your grandfather, right? So this is an example for single level inheritance. Okay, so we are done with single level inheritance. Then we have multi-level inheritance. So what is multi-level inheritance? We have a parent class, a subclass, and one more class. Here class A is having future 1 and 2, and class B is having future 1, 2, 3, 4, and class C is having future 1, future 2, future 3, future 4, future 5. So here at the first I am going to define, just come to know in the example here. The first class what I am defining is A. In that how many features I am taking? I am calling two functions. One is future 1 and future 2. The same way I am calling class B and I'm inheriting class A. Here I am taking two futures. One is future 3 and second one is future 4. So at present A is having two futures, B is having four futures as we are inheriting A class. So 1 and 2, 3 and 4. So class B will having how many futures? 1, 2, 3, 4. So the next is I'm going to derive one more class. In that I'm taking class C and I'm inheriting B. So already A is having two features, B is having 2 plus 2 4 features, and class C must be having 5 features, right? So here this is an example. A1 is the object, A1 is the object created by class A. There I'm taking future 1, future 2. B1 is for class B and C1 is for class C. So at present, if I want to work with this, I want to work, we'll go with this example here only. Just will make some changes. So done. I'll come out of this class. I'll take one more class, that is class C. Done. And I will inherit that. Done. So here what I will take, just I'll do this. I'll just copy this and stick here. So here I will do this. Done. If I want one more object, is that C1 is equal to C. Done. Then C1 dot future future phi. When you inherit future phi, you can inherit just what just for j. This is also C1. So A is defined future 1, future 2, B is defined future 3, future 4, and this is future phi. Just I will run it. Some issue. What is the issue? It's not A1, this is A1. It just run the module. I'm getting. So if I do some changes, so here if I say B1 dot future phi, because future phi is of class C, not class B. So I can't use this, right? This is about your multi-level inheritance. Then after this, we have the last one is this one. multiple events. Here we have class A and class B, and next is class C. Two classes and the next class. Here we'll get a difference. Multi-level, it will be in a single line. Multiple means it will be one below other, right? So here I'm using future 1, future 2 for class A, B, future 3 and future 4. Here we are not inheriting A. So A will be having two features, B will be having two features, right? But C, what about C? C will have the future of 1, A and B, and as well as future 5. So we'll make the changes to the previous example only. Yeah, here. So here we are taking class A, that is defined future 1, future 2. Class B, not inherit this, then future 3, future 4. And here I'll inherit both A comma B. Here A1 dot future 1 will be accessed, A1 dot future 2 will be accessed. Here B1 dot I want to access future 3, as I can't access future 1 and future 2. Here I can access future, but C can access anything. So we'll just go to this run module. Yeah, somewhere we have gone wrong. Yeah, here at the last. This can't be accessed. Got. So this is a multi-level inheritance. So these are the example of inheritance. You can inherit anything, right? No using of the writing the code once again. If class A's property is required in class B, it depends. You want single level inheritance, multi-level inheritance, or multiple inheritance. It depends on your choice. If single level inheritance, when two classes are there, only class A properties to be accessed by class B. If you want to access class A, class B property to C, first you have to inherit class A to class B, then class B to class C. And if you don't want to work with this, you can go for class A and class B, and directly you can inherit class A and B. So this is about your multi-level inheritance.